Hello. Hello, my loves. Welcome to another edition of Talks with Toya on the Complete Woman podcast. This is a part of my series, the grief series, the Untold Stories. Thank you guys for tuning in on YouTube or the podcast, whichever way you chose to tune in. I appreciate you. I thank you for that. That means a lot. So I did this series because again, I was getting questions from people about grief and how to get through it, how to push through it, how to manage it, and all that kind of stuff. I could give my way of doing it, and it may not work for you. So, God laid on my heart and said, hey, get some people who have not really told their stories, who people really would want to know and really would want to hear from about what they went through or what they're going through to get through it and to deal with it so they can be helped. And then also because I have not lost certain people in my life, so I can't really speak to that pain because I don't know that pain. I can give you my condolences. I can give you a shoulder to cry on. I can give you support and love and all of that, but I can't really talk to that pain because I have never been there. So I wanted to be wise about that because I don't know everything and I'm okay with it. That's why God connects you to people who do know, okay? So, I have the Ashlea with me, the Ashlea Renee. I have her with me so she can discuss her journey with grief. First of all, I just want y'all to know that me and Ashlea, that is my girl. She is my sister, Chantel's best friend, but she's family. That's my girl. I can call her up. She gonna always come through. She gonna always, support and everything. And when God laid her on my heart to ask her, I was like, I don't know, God, but at the same time, when you're connected to people, sometimes they will do things for you that they may not normally do. So I put it out there and I said, I'm gonna ask her and see. And she, quickly, like with the rest of them, I was very surprised. Everyone quickly responded yes. And I was like, God, God teaching me. If you open your mouth, huh?
That's what you gotta do. Don't start prayer.
I'm not gonna start. I'm not gonna start. Okay, because we'll go. Listen, we are church. I
Listen,
understand.
it don't take much for us. You
It don't
understand?
take nothing at
Don't worry
all.
about it. Okay, because they're not ready. They ain't ready.
Listen, she is a recording artist. She's a singer. Listen to me. Understand? I talk about singers a lot, and I'm not gonna stamp anybody that ain't legit. But this baby here. Okay, I will always support her singing career. I will always support her as an artist because she is absolutely amazing. And if you don't know, later on we'll tell you how you can get in contact with her. Later on we'll tell you how you get some of the things she's already recorded and all of that. We'll get into that later. But I have her here because she went through a journey of losing her son. And I'm going to get into that and let her tell the story about how she's dealt with it and how it happened and all the other kind of stuff to give you insight and to help you even the more if you have lost a child. So, Ashlea, thank you for joining me.
You're welcome. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, friend.
I didn't think twice about saying yes.
You did.
Anytime your family, y'all need anything, you already know it's an automatic yes from me. So, yeah.
You did. You did not think you did, and you didn't hesitate, and I appreciate it because I really was like, I don't know. But so we're gonna get into it. Ashlea, tell us about Ashlea. Let us see inside of who Ashlea is.
Well, my name is Ashlea Renee. I am 29 years old, born and raised, of course, in Jacksonville, Florida. Um, Singer, songwriter. I am a believer. As far as with music, I've been privileged to share the stage with many artists on the local and the national level. This past weekend, On the academic side, I just received my graduate certificate in nonprofit.
Woo!
And I am looking forward to finishing my master's in public administration in December of this year. Yeah, so professionally, my passion is really for nonprofits and making sure that they thrive and succeed at any capacity. I love God. I love my family. Yeah, God is definitely the center of it all. I'm not doing any of this on my own, but it is by His might and His power and His spirit that I'm here today to even have this difficult conversation. Toya knows that people kind of know bits and pieces, but no one knows the full timeline. And I know this is going to help someone. So I've definitely asked God to help me to word my mouth to allow me to be of support to someone else. So.
Yes, goodness. Awesome. Yep. Because we don't go through this stuff just for us. We go through it for other people, even though that sucks. But hey, that sucks. So tell us about okay, you were pregnant with Elijah. His name is Elijah. You were pregnant with him. And tell us about the pregnancy with him. Describe that to us.
So, early part of 2014, I found out I was pregnant. I immediately started experiencing the morning sickness. It wasn't too bad in the beginning, but it was very obvious that I was pregnant because I was very just kind of throwing up kind of all over the place. Was very, very, very excited. I believe when I first found out, I was about 6 weeks or so into the pregnancy. Child went to the little urgent care because I did the test at home, but then I went to the urgent care to double check. We were just so excited. I was like, oh my God. And then so it was funny because after we left the urgent care, I was like, okay, so great. So I can eat whatever I want. I ate Taco Bell and that came right back up. And so I was like, all right, here we go. Here we go from here. So that was kind of the earlier part. Just very excited. Still kind of some morning sickness. I was still kind of going to work, but I was just really excited because I was like, I've never been pregnant before. This is just so new. I was young.
Yeah.
I had been married for not even a year at that point. So it was just like, oh my God, this is all happening so fast. So yeah, that was kind of the earlier kind of phase of the pregnancy.
Awesome. Yeah. So I know you said you were excited about it, but was that something you guys were planning? Were you guys planning to have a baby? Was it?
No, we definitely weren't planning. We didn't know when we wanted to have kids. We were just celebrating the fact that we were married.
Yeah.
So, whatever happened, happened. But no, I wouldn't say that we planned on having Elijah or being pregnant. It just gotta happen. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. That's fine too. Hey, it is what it is. It happens when it happens and
Right.
how it's supposed to happen. It is when we never know. That's one of the things I tell people you can never get ready for is be prepared. I don't care how many books you read,
Right.
how much planning you do, and just
Right.
let it happen, honey, because it's just, it's a life,
Yeah.
So tell us about when it started getting tough being pregnant with Elijah
Yeah.
and how it started to shift into what it ended up being.
Right. Okay. So I'll probably start from there, probably end up to, the course end. So, of course, like I said, I was kind of having morning sickness. I was noticing that I was having morning sickness a lot more than usual. Because people say, oh, you're gonna throw up, oh,
Yeah.
that's just, but I knew I was like, guys, I'm not able to keep anything down, not even water, ice, anything that touched my stomach came back up. And so going through that, becoming weaker and weaker, just kind of as the weeks progressed, I just knew something was wrong. They gave me a medicine to kind of help with the vomiting called Diclegis. I think that's what the name of it was, but that worked somewhat, but I just wasn't
it
able
don't
to
really
get
help.
anything down. I wasn't getting nutrients. The baby wasn't getting nutrients, and so I just knew I was like, this can't. I mean, I've heard of morning sickness, but I was like, this is something different. Because I was like,
Yeah.
I can't keep anything down. Um, and so I started off at about 207 in that process, and I ended up being like 163. So I lost about 40 something pounds in a matter of
Wow.
like 6 weeks or so, which that's not healthy at all. Um,
Right. Especially
and
not while having a baby.
yeah, yeah, no, 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 no. So I was going to the doctor each week, and so Easter weekend of 2014, I started feeling some pain around like Saturday-ish. But of course, just listening, oh, that's just, your stomach is growing and stuff like that. But I also noticed that I was able to eat that weekend, which is very different. So I was in pain, and I was kind of able to keep some things down. And then so I had an appointment on that Tuesday. So we went to the doctor, and then the first thing they do is like an ultrasound, to check on the baby. This ultrasound took a lot longer than the other ones. She was kind of checking. Of course, me being a new pregnant person, I didn't know what I was looking at. So she was checking, and then like she just kept checking. So I'm gonna check one more area. I'm gonna check one more area. She said, I'm gonna just like she kept checking, and I didn't know I didn't know what was happening. So she said, okay. She took a deep breath, and I don't know what any of this means. So she
Right.
told us to go into the room, and so we were sitting in there, and then the doctor came in, and she said, Mrs. Jones, unfortunately, we were not able to find a heartbeat. And I was just like, at that point, I was just like, what? Like,
Yeah.
what does that even mean?
Right.
And so I immediately looked at him, and then I just crumbled because I saw the despair in her face. So I crumbled. And so she was kind of talking to me, that means that, the baby is not, the baby's not breathing, the baby's not alive. And then she was kind of trying to walk me through. I will say, let me back up. At that moment, everything became very foggy. Like I just kind of remember from that particular moment, everything just kind of, I remember bits and pieces of
Right.
something. And so she kind of walked me through the process of, what I would need to do. So I realized that the pain I was having was I was in labor. I was having contractions. At that point, my body was literally rejecting my child, and I had no idea. So in labor the entire weekend from Saturday to Tuesday in pain. Didn't know what I'm thinking, that my stomach is stretching, whatever. But whole time, the entire time, my child was not living inside of me for days.
Wow.
And so she just kind of told me what I needed to do, what my options were. I called my mom. I couldn't even get the words out. She was there in less than 10 minutes because she already knew, because she heard it in my voice. I just remember saying, granddaddy, take care of my baby, granddaddy, take care of my baby. And then so it was at that point where the doctor, like I said, she told me, well, you would need to, we need to take you into labor and delivery, where, we will walk you through the process of releasing, the child. So I had to be there the next day on Wednesday. I had to be there at 7 a.m. And by that time, of course, I had told family, told my pastor at that time, told friends. That I will say, and I know you're going to get into this, but I had an amazing support group at that time. My pastor and first lady, Dave Reagan and Jennifer Reagan, were there before me. They were there like first thing in the morning. My sister Tina Wilson was there. Like I said, my mama. If I start naming people, I'm going to forget. But I just knew I was covered that day.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That I was covered. My nurse's name was Kelly. She after I went upstairs, she kind of sat and talked with me for a little bit. She said, we don't have to do this today. We can come back and do it again. I was like, Kelly, I'm in pain. Get it over with. I don't want to prolong this process because I know that there's, I have to get through this. This is something that has been ordained by God, even though it hurts. This is something I cannot prolong. So I had to, definitely had to get through it. Kelly was very, very supportive. My room was, and I knew that they had a room capacity, but my room was just filled with prayer and love, and they were just, everyone was just making sure I was okay. They started the labor and delivery process. I kind of started contracting around like 10 or 11, as if I was about to have like a child. I remember just kind of faint people just kind of coming in and out, just close friends, close brothers and sisters, just kind of, sending their love and support. And yeah, it's like I said, it got really foggy. Because you're on this medication, you're the fact that, the child that I was just so excited about. Like I had the baby shower date, in my phone. He was doing October 14th. I was gonna have the baby shower August 30th. Like I had all of that in my phone. So it just kind of things got really foggy. But I ended up having him at about 3:15, 3:20 that day. My pastor and first lady dedicated him at that moment, and then the nurses, took him away, for testing and things like that. But I will say, I ate a mighty meal as soon as I had that little boy. Because that was my first time eating, probably since like January.
Right.
Let me tell you something.
Because I'm hungry.
I ate. But I was like collard greens, sweet potatoes.
Because I'm hungry.
I ate. And I I'm sorry. But I remember that I was hungry. Like I think I ate man. Like I was hungry.
I understand, sis.
But even like of course, wrapping this up, even in the hospital, they gave me like a teddy bear in honor of him. They gave me his footprints. They had a sign on the door, which was something I didn't know hospitals did. So whenever someone is sick or if they're dealing with something, grief or something, they have like this sign that lets the doctors and nurses know how to go in. Like, go in peacefully,
Yeah.
If someone's mourning, they have that sign on the door.
Oh, yeah.
So they do to come in, on a low. I appreciated that sign because they just with an acknowledgement and a reverence of what I had this experience. And then that next day on Facebook, I put a picture up of the teddy bear. I
remember that.
Told everyone. And I will say what got me through that experience was a praying mom.
Huh? Ain't nothing like it.
Praying mother. From that entire process, my mom just filled my life up with prayer.
And Mother Hughes prays, understand?
And just being surrounded by prayer, being surrounded by love.
Yes.
That is important. You cannot go. I'm here today because somebody helped me through that.
Yeah.
So God gave other people the strength that I needed. Whenever I couldn't do certain things on my own, God allowed other people to help me get through that. That's the only reason. I just got to know God at a much deeper level. Like I got to know him personally. Like I was like, he's real.
Yeah.
It's like those kind of traumatic experiences, like it just shows you who God is and who people are. Like it just I was like, I could choose depression. I could choose.
That's good.
I had a right to be.
That's good.
I had a justifiable right to be angry with God.
Yeah.
To cry, to be angry, but I chose to have hope.
That's good.
I remain confident I will see the goodness of the Lord. I knew that God was going to come through.
That's good.
Like I just knew it because I know him. Toya, I sang about him my whole life.
Yeah.
I heard about him. I've been in a church. Like
now it's time to put it in practice.
Yep. That was the time to put what I knew about God.
Put it in practice. Yep.
So it's like, are you going to crumble at the sight of it? Even if you have a right to be upset? I still had to rejoice and be glad.
Yeah.
I still
Come
had to
on.
count it, you know,
Count it all joy. Yeah.
because we're not exempt from these things.
Right.
You know, so I'm just grateful. 6 years later, I'm just grateful to God for prayer and for me being aware of who He was for
Yeah.
real, for myself,
For
not
real,
because
for real.
my mom taught me, or because, but this is something I had to know. I had to get down
Right.
in me. I had to know that He was God. I had to know Him to be a healer. I had to
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
So I can't. So it's just in those times we cannot forget who God is.
Can't forget. That's
So
good.
I'm grateful. I've cried so many times, but I asked God for the strength to make it through this interview to be a blessing to somebody. Of course,
That,
because we have our moments, of course,
yeah, absolutely.
but we cannot stay there.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
That's the
cannot
key.
we cannot build a house in depression. Even when we have the right to, we're hurting. Someone has been taken from us.
Yes.
We just cannot create a house or a temple um, of just depression and just sadness.
Yeah.
It didn't that's not how God designed us to live, even in the midst of trials and tribulations. I'm sorry, we're not even going here, but I'm just
Listen,
yeah.
you know me. Hey, do your thing. that that's good though. Somebody needs to hear that. That is so good. You know, we have to understand, even though we have the right, or we, feel like, there's no other way. We have the choice to not, and people forget that you choose to have whatever reaction that you have and the feelings that you have. You choose if you want to stay there. You have to push yourself out of that, and I know it is easier to be depressed. It's easier to say, I'm just going to sit here and cry myself to sleep every night and just endure and go through. But when you have to fight through that, because you have to fight through that. You have to fight through that pain and that depression and stuff to not hold you down. You got to fight. And some people can't find their fight in the midst of that and stuff like that. But you got to find your fight, because if you don't, you'll lose. And everything else that was supposed to come, which we will get to, you will miss out on, or you won't be able to enjoy it as much as you would have been able to enjoy it.
Right.
So, my question to you is, thinking about this or whatever, and I have never had a miscarriage or anything like that. All of my children have been, thank God, born healthy, but I was at risk one time to do it, and that was devastating to know when the doctor told me, hey, your child, you could have miscarried. And I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, how? Like, how does it, what? Like, I couldn't fathom it. So is there anybody or anything, or even yourself, that you blame for what happened?
I knew that morning sickness was a part of the process, but I was like, God, why am I this sick? Like, what is it? What am I not? What am I doing? What am I not doing? The old myths, like, don't stand into a microwave when you're pregnant. Like, I'm like, am I blaming? Is it me? I'm like, what did I do?
Right. Right.
So there were just some like little things, like, should I not have eaten this? Or like, I'm like, where did I go wrong? But literally, and it's funny you say that, because I asked the hospital just to do a full exam on what happened, just a full exam. And a couple months later, they said that they couldn't, just natural causes, whatever. At that point, because how can I say this? A lot of people, and this is what happened even in relationships. We try to figure out what went wrong. Like, try to fully investigate.
Right.
Oh, but the guy was like, just wash your hands with it and release it. It's in my control.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we try to micromanage God.
Yeah. Yeah.
We try to say, okay, well, you're not gonna tell me what happened, so I'm gonna do my own investigation to see what happened. And
Yeah.
even in that, I still did not get an answer. They still do not know. It was just natural causes. I said, okay, all right, that was my cue to do my best as a mother to release that chapter to God. Because I still held on to it,
Yeah.
and then, what is it me? Like, am I not able to have kids? Things like that. All those things went to my mind.
Yeah.
But I just had to trust God even through those tough thoughts. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's so good. And it's so good that you said that, God wasn't giving me the answer, so I went to look for him myself. I was just having this discussion with a friend, and we were talking about how we have kind of been taught wrong about questioning God. You can question God. That's what he's there for now. Like what you said, is he gonna give you an answer? He may not. Or is he gonna give you the answer that you want to hear? He may not, but it's okay. Even Jesus questioned God. So it's okay to question him. And even if you try to challenge him, there's a difference in questioning and challenging, So, even in that, he still will prove himself. He is God, point blank, and he'll let you know, just like you said, just wash your hands of it. Just leave it. It is what it is. It happened. Things happen. Like you say, natural causes, they couldn't find out anything. And that's something that I hear amongst a lot of people that have miscarried and stuff like that. It's like there's no answer to why it happened, because I see women all the time, they lifting weights and all kind of stuff and doing crazy stuff while they're pregnant and still have healthy kids. So it's just a thing that kind of just happens. And even for me, after having 3 healthy babies and on my 4th one, you say I'm at risk of miscarriage? How? And I was still young. So I'm like, what? So it's like, question God or whatever, but he may not answer you how you want to be answered, and you got to be all right with that.
And I just put this on Facebook Sunday because my pastor recently just lost his mom, and he said something so powerful on Sunday. He said, if God does not give you the answer that you want, he will give you the grace that you need.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. Because a lot of times we think that just because God doesn't answer us, that's it.
Right.
But he's still there. Just because I don't give you what you want doesn't mean that I'm a bad father.
Yes, just like a parent. Just because I don't give you what you want, don't mean.
Even though it's not what you want, I'll still give you what you need to make it through.
Exactly. And you don't understand at the time, but you'll understand later. So, hey. So how has this affected your family dynamic? Like, how has it affected your family?
Of course, on because his birthday is April 23rd, so I am always sure to dedicate time as a family to just remembering him, remembering that whole, honestly, at the top of it, from January to April of every year since then, I'm like, yep, this time that year I was going through this time that year. So mentally, the process is still with me as a mom. And I can remember even being pregnant with Carter, just kind of being real fidgety, because just kind of being real scared. I'm on my toes. I just lost a child, earlier this year, and now I'm pregnant again. And so I was just very fearful. So it kind of allowed fear and kind of uncertainty to creep into my second pregnancy. But I definitely that's something that I had to pray through, because I wanted to enjoy my pregnancy with Carter and not be scared.
Yeah.
But again, I was, very young, and so I was like, okay, God, like, what are you about to do? Am I, are you going to make sure that I keep this one? That's that real conversation. I'm like, is this one mine? Is this one, what are you about to do? Just so I can be prepared. But, it definitely increased all of our walks with God. It increased our trust. Yes. Like, there is nothing that I would not leave in the hands of God. Even the things that I do not, there are some things that we don't pray about.
Yeah.
And some things that we're not transparent with God about, but we still trust him even though we're not confident in expressing ourselves, you know, to him. We still place our trust that he knows, even though, you know, we did it. So our family just sees God so differently because of how he has allowed me to come out of, how he allowed me to come out of that. You know, there's just a boldness that I have in God. Like there's nothing too hard for him, literally. You know, so it's increased our faith.
That is a running thing when I have been talking to people about grief. That's what they have been saying. Like, this has increased. Like, at this point, you can't tell me that God isn't capable of anything, because if he can get me through that and I can survive that, man, who are you? And what is that?
Right.
Like, you know, I may get thrown off a little bit from time to time, but overall, after dealing with that, man, please. So you went into talking about Carter, and you being able to be pregnant with him. So did you guys, was it something that you guys wanted to do again? Or was the anxiety already there before the pregnancy? Is it something that you were thinking about doing?
So a couple things. So with that, one of the things that was not helpful between the time of losing Elijah and getting pregnant with Carter, you're young, y'all can try again. In my mind, no, I wanted to have that baby, you know, don't brush him off.
Don't brush him off. Don't.
Because I was like, you know, I wanted, I'm like, I know I'm young, we can try again. I'm like, but that's not, I don't want to try again. Like, I want that child. So, but there was, I mean, we, again, not really trying, but not, it's like, you know, if it happens, okay. If not, you know, whatever, it's fine. But I started feeling, so I had Elijah in April. Around October is when I found out I was pregnant with Carter. Again, just kind of same, not as much vomiting and throwing up, but I could tell like my body was just a little different. And so like, I've had this feeling before. And I think, so I took a test, and then I told him, and then, like we were very ecstatic. And then with that announcement, we posted it on Facebook with the same scripture. I will remain confident in this. I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. So I think we announced that Thanksgiving 2014, and then Carter was born June 2015. So,
yes, honey. And Carter is amazing.
And chubby, and like to eat, and losing teeth. And he's in this mommy watch this phase. You know how kids like they in that phase, but it don't be nothing like
you got to make them think it's something.
Right.
That's all right.
Right. I'm like, you go, boy. That's it.
That's right.
That's how you do it. That's how you spend that toy. That's it. Nobody else do it like that but you. Yeah, that's how
you gotta be that biggest cheerleader, honey. You got to. That is absolutely awesome. And you know, and I've known you through both of those journeys. So it was absolutely awesome to see that you were able to have a child, and you know, and he's so vibrant and he's so amazing. And God did what he said he would do, you know, and that was absolutely amazing to see how you endured that and how you carried that. You know, like I say, some people, they'll count themselves out and be done, you know, and that wasn't you, you know, that wasn't how you approached it, you know, and you still sang the praises of God, you still shouted the church down, honey, and you still praised him with all your might.
And it's all okay.
Listen, honey, will put the feet up and down, understand? She will kill the so that was awesome. It was awesome, and I think that was absolutely a testament to people that were watching you and stuff, and you know, seeing you go through that, you know. And I know possibly it was tough, when we weren't around, and I'm sure there were nights, that we didn't see and conversations that were had that we didn't hear. But at the end of the day, the way your strength exuded during both of those processes, because that's why I asked, the thought process of even be able to have Carter. I know that was, like you said, the anxiety of, okay, is this going to be fine? All right, let me, make sure that this one survives, So the fact that you were able to get through all of that and then to have this amazing child is absolutely awesome. And I praise God for that. He is great. He is amazing. And like you said, from this point on, honey, you can't deny him.
You can't make me doubt him.
I know too much.
No, too much.
Huh?
Sorry. But you can't. Like, for real. You cannot step to me about God. You cannot
No.
talk me out of fellowship with him. You cannot. You cannot.
No. And the fact that he kept you through that, because what people don't understand, even if you have a healthy child, there's always a risk of death or something when you're having children. So the fact that God still kept you, and God kept you for days with a baby that hadn't survived, anything could have happened to you, so man, yeah, I wish, man, shoot, who turn it back on God? Who? Nah, baby, you can go somewhere else with that. Huh? So, Ashlea, what would you like to say to other grieving parents?
So to other grieving parents, it doesn't matter whether it was, and this is something someone said to me, if it was 6 weeks or 6 months, a loss is a loss.
Yes.
And everyone walks through things differently. Everyone just kind of perceives it differently, but just know that God loves you nevertheless. He still has great plans for you, even in this, even when don't go our way. That is when we have to cleave closer to God, because he ultimately has the final say in everything.
Yeah.
His will is going to get done. He's going to receive the glory. Like, just don't beat yourself up, because that's something I thought something was wrong with me. But do not beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up here, because that up here is those thoughts will get in your head. Those justified thoughts. So I have a right.
Yeah.
I want to get upset, but God did not allow those thoughts to consume me, because I chose to believe that he had a greater plan. I chose to believe that his thoughts of me were of peace. Like, I'm practicing his word, walking that thing out. If it's to my generation who, we've grown up in church, we've heard the word. It works, y'all, for real. Like, to my generation, like, for real, it works. You have to put your trust in it. So just lift up your heads, for real. Lift up and just keep your head lifted. Keep your thoughts and your mind elevated as well.
Yeah.
Because God has not given us the spirit of fear. Fear did not come from God. He gave us power and love and a sound mind. A sound mind that can make decisions. A sound mind that can think logically. Because those are things that kind of, losing your child, there's so many things mentally that go on. You're not able to think straight. You're not able to, in most times, like, comprehend. You just become, different. You things that didn't scare you before scare you now. Things that you weren't attached to before, you are attached to now. But just in everything, give thanks. Seriously, in everything, give thanks. Lean and depend on him, because he has our best interest at heart. He's not trying to hurt us. He's not a bad dad that's trying to just want us to feel bad. But he loves us, and he will love us through, just like he loved me through. And I'm able to shine. That's why I wear bright colors, because I didn't want to wear anything dark, because I was like, you know, God, that I wanted to exude brightness and hope.
Yeah,
Joy.
yeah.
That's why I kind of wore, you know, this kind of bright colors, because they're, you know, just don't. It hurts. No, I get it. I've been there. It hurts and it stings for a while. But the God I serve,
Huh?
keep you.
Yeah.
He'll keep you. Seriously, he will.
That's good. That's good, Ashlea. That's good stuff. That definitely will help somebody. So, Ashlea, like I said earlier, she's a singer, she's an artist. Ashlea, tell the people about whatever projects that you have and how they can follow you or get in contact with you. Because y'all can book sis. Okay? Y'all can book sis. Even though sis was supposed to sing at my wedding, but you know, we're not gonna talk about that here. But she
You guys, I was pregnant with Elijah when Toya got
she
married.
was. And
I could not get to leave that bed. I wanted to be there.
I
I
know, sis.
wanted to, but I couldn't make it. I was down.
Yeah. I just bother her because we can laugh about it now, but I totally understood why she couldn't be there. But yeah, y'all booked it.
So right now, the current moment, I do a lot of studio work. I sang most recently for the late Troy Sneed before he passed away. We were working with him on several projects. I'm a part of two dynamic ministries, one being Meet Jamel Clark and Company,
Whoop, 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 whoop.
in Florida, and also Lawrence Flowers and Intercession
Whoop,
up in
whoop, whoop.
Georgia. Those two entities have held me down for the past 10 years. I joined those both groups when I was 19. I'm 29 now, so yeah, that's my family. But yes, I am available for studio, solo songwriting stuff. I am working on an EP. You all are the first to know. I am working on some new music that I'm hoping to release by the end of this year. It's gonna be great. I will definitely be reaching out to you, Toya. It's gonna be amazing. I definitely want you to be a part of that experience. So
Yeah. See, y'all got an exclusive here. Awesome. Also, how can they follow you?
okay, so I am on Facebook, Ashlea Renee. I am on Instagram at love Ashley Renee _. I'm sure when she posts this video, we'll be sure to add information.
Yeah, add it to the screen.
Yeah, so hit me up on Facebook, hit me up on Instagram, or follow me on Instagram, and I would love to connect with each of you. Please feel free to reach out to me via inbox or anything. If you guys have any questions, I am an open book at this point because I've told my story. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ashlea. I'm so proud of you, Pooh.
Thank
I'm
you.
so proud of you. This was
Thank you
absolutely great.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
I didn't know. Number one, this is my first time talking about just the story, without crying. And I really asked God to allow me to get through it. But I'm excited. Thank you for the opportunity to share about my wonderful son, Elijah Malik Jones. We love you and we miss you so much.
Yes.
So much. So.
It would have been so awesome to meet him. But, we bless God.
Okay, don't worry about it. One day, we gonna see.
I'm not doing that with you.
Okay.
I'm not doing that with you.
They're not ready.
See what I'm talking about? This is the carrying on that we do.
He's gonna meet me at the gate.
Come on and meet him. See, this is the kind of carrying on that we have going on, y'all. So y'all don't mind us. But again, you're awesome, and I really, really thank you, and I really appreciate you, and I thank you for pushing through. You did such a good job, and even if you would have cried, it would have been fine. Yeah. But we bless God that you were able to get that story out to help someone. So, like she said, you can contact her if you have any questions about grieving a child. Make sure you contact her. to pick her brain. If you're going through that right now or have been going through that, just reach out. You know, don't sit alone. Don't be by yourself. Don't think that no one cares. We have absolutely shown that at least one person cares. So make sure you reach out as well. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel and to everything that I have going on. Everything is under Latoya Shante Kite on Instagram and on Facebook. So you can go and follow me on both and subscribe to this YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so you can see all of my videos when they get posted, and the ones that have been posted before. Make sure you go check those out. Also, you can contact me at thecompletewoman19@gmail.com if you have any questions, if you have any topics you want me to talk about. If you want to join me on Talks with Toya, let me know. Reach out to me there. And I think that's all of my contacts. So thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for listening. Goodbye, my loves.